Have you ever chased a dream of that one camera that does it all, only to slam into the harsh reality of trade-offs? High-res photos mean ditching smooth video. Killer video clips come at the cost of sharp stills. And hybrids? They're that awkward middle child. Decent at everything, expert at nothing. For a solid stretch, the Sony A7V wore that crown, balancing a solid sensor, reliable video, and autofocus that rarely let you down. But deep down, every creator gripping it felt that nagging thorn. The 1.5x crop in 4K at 60 frames per second, turning wide-angle dreams into claustrophobic nightmares. What if I told you the whispers aren't just hype anymore? They're blueprints for something game-changing. Drop a comment below. What's the one compromise in your current setup that drives you craziest? We've all been there, holding our breath through Sony silences, griping in forums as rivals like Canon edged ahead, stealing the spotlight with bolder moves. But now, the leaks are piling up like storm clouds, every insider tip and prototype photo converging on a truth that's equal parts thrilling and disruptive. The Sony A7V isn't some safe or fresh or a half-step sequel. It's a full-throated roar, rewriting the rules for what a hybrid camera can be. Picture this as your insider briefing. Piece together from the most trustworthy sources out there, every rumored spec, every hush confirmation painting a portrait of Sony not just patching holes, but forging a beast that's been haunting our wish list for years. This could be the spark that has you eyeing your gear bag with fresh doubt, wondering if it's time to trade up. Hang tight. We're diving deep, and trust me, you'll replay this a few times. Let's cut to the chase. The raw nerve that's kept us up at night. That infamous 4K/60 crop on the A7 IV, it's history. Yeah, you heard that right. Let it marinate. Across the board, from the sharpest leak mills to the quiet nods from supply chain whispers, the verdict is unanimous. Full pixel readout. Uncropped 4K at 60p, straight from the heart of that full-frame sensor. It's not a spec sheet flex. It's Sony's quiet mea culpa, a nod to the imperfections of the past. And man, does it ripple outward. Imagine nailing those epic slow-mo wide shots without fumbling for a wider lens or backing into traffic to frame it right. Your composition stays pure. Your sensor unleashes its full fury at the speeds that count. But Sony's playing chess here, not checkers. They're not content with bandage. They're dropping bombs on the field. Word on the street escalates fast. 4K at 120p is in the cards. That silk-smooth cinematic haze once locked behind the A7S3's $3,900 paywall, now rumored to crash the A7V party. Wrap your head around the fallout. This doesn't just tweak Sony's ecosystem. It appends it. The A7S3? A video titan, sure, but photo lightweight at 12 megapixels, laser-focused on one lane. If these murmurs hold, the A7V morphs into a Swiss Army knife that shadows 90% of the S3's tricks while flexing serious muscle for still shooters. How do they pull off that alchemy? Cue the sensor saga, the pulsing core where rumors fork like lightning. One camp buzzes about a 44-megapixel powerhouse, a quantum jump from the A7IV's 33, arming you with razor detail for sweeping landscapes, intimate portraits, or endless cropping without mercy. It'd echo the A1 precision in a more approachable shell. Yet the tale that grips me tighter whispers of evolution over escalation, sticking at 33 megapixels but crowning it with fresh, partially stacked CMOS design. If stack sounds techie, boil it down. It's velocity incarnate, a readout blitz that nukes rolling shutter distortion, that nauseating twist when you swing the lens across a scene. The A7 IV winced under that flaw in video. A stacked heart would render it surgical, one of the crispest on the block. And the perks bleed into stills. Whispers of 20, maybe 30 frames per second bursts, a 9 tear fury in a body that won't break the bank. So, resolution juggernaut or speed sorcerer? My gut bet's on the stacked 33. It's the elegant fix, turbocharging uncropped 4K/60, greasing the rails for 4K/120. Banishing wobbles, and unleashing pro-grade action capture. It bursts the hybrid holy grail. No asterisk attached. Pause for the wild card that's got forums ablaze. Global shutter. That A9 3 wizardry freezing bullets mid-flight. Like some sci-fi cheat code. Dreamy? Absolutely. Coming to the A7V? Flat out no. and thank the stars. Global Tech Today drags baggage, noisier lows, squeezed dynamic range, a niche hammer for sports pros or strobe wizards, not the everyday multi-tool we crave. Shoehorning it here would sabotage the balance. Instead, that stacked sensor seals the deal, transforming headaches into triumphs without the fine print. A sensor's raw power needs smarts to shine, and here's where the A7V flexes its intellect, snagging the dedicated AI processor from heavyweights like the A7RV and A9 III feels like a lock. If Sony's autofocus already feels prescient, brace for precognition. This isn't basic eye lock. It's a neural oracle dissecting the chaos ahead. Skeletal mapping that doesn't just spot a figure, but blueprints their frame. Torso, limbs, noggin. Obscure the face? It clings to the posture, unflinching. Beyond humans, it's a menagerie of precision. Avian eyes, buzzing wings, rumbling trains, soaring jets. Your lens anticipates a hunt. Envision a bridal procession, chaos erupting as relatives photobomb. Today's AF stutters, snagging elbows. Tap the gown, and the A7V blueprints her silhouette. Crowd surges, it holds, resurfacing sharp as a vow. Or stalking wildlife. A sparrow alights amid foliage frenzy. Old gear fixates on twigs, but this? It isolates the iris, discards a distraction, delivers a decisive moment. This chip? It's the upgrade that eclipses hardware, shifting from gear grudge to seamless sidekick, that elusive, sticky focus weave mythologized. And the ripple effects? AI-driven autoframing, straight from the ZV E1 playbook. Mount it solo, and it ghosts your moves, panning, tilting, zooming like an invisible DP. 4 lone wolves scripting vids or chasing YouTube gold. That's the hook that reels you in, fuse at velocity with this vision. And you've got a camera that's not just quick. It's clairvoyant, intuiting your intent mid-breath. But revolutions aren't specs alone. They're the ritual of creation, the tactile poetry of the hold. Sony's tuning in at last. The A7IV's chassis? Serviceable, but the A7RV's heftier sculpt. Deeper grip, intuitive controls. Leaks say it's migrating south, cradling your hand through marathons. Yet the revelation gleams on the back, the screen. Weave long pick sides. Tilter for shooters, flippable for vloggers. Until the A7, RV's 4-axis marvel bent the rules, a mechanical sonnet flipping sideways for selfies, nodding up-down for low-angle sans drama. Perfection in pivot, and the buzz screams it's A7V bound. Everyday epiphany. Photics get their tilt, videographers their reveal, all claim the ideal gaze. Eyes forward, though, what steals more glances than the LCD? The EVF, that portal to your vision. The A7IV's 3.69 million dot window, adequate in its era, but today's cravings demand more. Leaks herald a 5.76 million dot leap. Some fever dreams chasing the A7, RV's 9.44, though that's a stretch. Even at 5.76, it's transformative, clarity so vivid. The electronic fades, mimicking optical purity with digital perks like peaking previews. For pros glued eye loop all day, it's fatigue's foe, joy's ally. Stack on whispers of 8-stop IBIS, gimbal-grade handheld reels, tack-sharp seconds-long exposures, and dual CF Express type, a slots for unthrottled speed, no slow lane compromises. This is an iteration. It's immersion. Every gripe from the A7 IV era, exhumed and executed. Timing's no accident. Enter Canon's R6 Mark II, the gut punch that lit Sony's fuse. That beast landed with 24 megapixels, autofocus wizardry, and crop-free 4K/60, aging the A7 IV in a blink and claiming the sub-$2 500 hybrid throne. Sony simmered, absorbed the blows, then struck back. Not with parity, but annihilation. Stacked the rumored A7V against the R6 II, video parity at uncropped 4K/60, but Sony surges to 120p. Autofocus? Canon's dual-pixel dazzles, yet lacks skeletal sorcery. Sony edges. Sensor? 24 megapixels versus 33, likely stacked for detail and distortion-free grace. Sony sweeps. Screen? Standard flip-out meets 4-axis fluidity. Sony. EVF? Identical 3.69 to the old guard, outclassed by 5.76 crispness. Sony. It's no duel, it's dominance. Sony reclaiming the mirrorless crown, rendering the R6 a footnote. And so, the myth crumbles, the ultimate camera forged in one frame. It mends the A7V's fractures, vaults past peers, blending a 7S video venom, a 7R acuity, a 9 velocity into a singular storm. One shadow lingers, the ledger and the launch. No illusions, this won't whisper cheap. The A7 bowed at $2,500 pre-chaos. Factor inflation, stack silicon, AI alchemy. That screen symphony, the EVF Epiphany 120p prowess. And insiders pegged $2,800 to $3,000. Steal at triple zeros. If the stars align, you're fusing flagship fragments worth 10 grand for pennies on the dream. Unveiling? The calendar's ripe. Late October or November 2025 teases, but brace for Q1 2026 shelves. We're teetering. The A7 fades artifact, R6 to relic. The hybrid pinnacle bears a badge, Sony A7V. Ready to leap? Ditching your 4-minute video? Scrapping that Canon Q? Spill it. What's your trigger? That uncropped liberation? The screen slight the AI's intuition? Hit the comments. Let's unpack your fire. And for the drop day decode side-by-sides, the unboxing ritual, subscribe, ring the alert. The shift stirs. Step into it. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.